Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the KMB Music Den. I am your friend Keith.
And as always, I'm Brad.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you being here as always.
As always, yep.
So, another album review. We're just cracking into February here. Now, this one actually came out a little over a week ago. We had other ones that we were doing, so this kind of slipped through the cracks, but I wanted to go back and grab it because I'm a big fan of this young woman. And Brad and I always talk about how we are sorely lacking in our physical format collections of female artists.
We are.
Something that we're working on. We definitely have, definitely have female artists and female fronted bands and all female bands that we enjoy. But we don't have a ton in our collections that we're trying to rectify that. I mean, I've got, Joni Mitchell, and I've got a decent amount. But I'm always looking for more. So this young lady has been in the folk scene for many years. She's kind of taken a bit of a different sound, a different approach on this new album, which is called Polaroid Lovers. And her name is Sarah Jarosz, if you're not familiar. The only album I have of hers from her previous albums in physical format is on CD, and this is Build Me Up from Bones. So there you see Sarah, beautiful young lady.
Mm-hmm.
There she is on the back with the hair down. um, I've always been drawn to her voice, her songwriting, just something about her, particularly her voice, that really has always grabbed me. So I was very excited for the new album to come out. And when I first started listening to it, kind of threw me a curveball there. I mean, there was a lot of her music is sparse, and this came in loud and proud. Full
Mm-hmm.
drum kit, electric guitars. So she's doing a different thing here, but still staying true to her roots. There's plenty of uh, songs on here that don't have a ton going on that focus on her voice and her lyrics, which I love. So Brad, to my knowledge, you came into this not knowing nothing about Sarah. Is that right?
Yeah, I had no clue who she was. And that's why I was curious. I was like, well, how does Keith know her? Because we don't talk much about going into these reviews and stuff. You'll just say, hey, we're going to review Sarah Jarosz. I go, okay. And I don't know how you know her, how familiar you are with her, what
Yeah.
your background is with her. My background was zero. I had no clue who she was, never heard the name. So I had nothing to go off of when I went into this album. I mean, you were just telling me about the sparse. I didn't go back and listen to them either. So to me, this is how I
Yeah.
know Sarah Jarosz. I don't know those
Yeah.
other albums.
Yeah.
So to me, yeah, I mean, coming into it, I was excited. Female artists, we need more of those because me and you both are got big collections. We have some females in them, but we lack. I think we do lack on some female music because we just don't come across it quite as much. We don't dig into it as deep.
Yeah.
So I was excited to do this one. Yeah, I mean, first thing I did notice is the voice. You're definitely not wrong. She has a great voice.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to hear it in a more sparse environment, like you were talking about there. I think it would raise to a whole different quality.
Yeah.
With this, I was more interested in a lot of her voice mixed with the band aspect, the songwriting. It was very well done. So to me, like for you, for example, who came from, hey, hearing her sparse, hearing because a lot of our stuff we listen to is a lot more singer songwriter,
Yeah.
folk. How did she translate the rock sound? I mean, it almost sounds like a '90s country vibe to me.
Yeah.
How did you take to this one compared to the sparse folk sound?
I tell you what, I took to this one in a big way.
Good.
Um, I was at the record store today earlier, as you were, as you know.
Yeah.
And I asked them if they had this, and he had one in that he sold, and he was hoping to get it back in again soon.
Really?
Because
Okay.
again, this one didn't just come out; it came out the week before.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed the mark with getting it on vinyl, which I am eager to do.
Great.
So I will play my hand right there. I absolutely love this album. I've listened to it like 6 or 7 times.
Damn. Okay.
To me, this is Sarah embracing a new chapter in her career, and doing it brilliantly, in my opinion. For you, if you go back and listen to some of the sparser stuff, I would
Mm-hmm.
definitely recommend this one.
Okay.
Build me up from the way it's phrased. I always get it wrong. But build me up from bones.
Okay.
um, so this is a great, great album of hers. Um, but I think this turn she's taken suits her very well. I think this is going to open her up to a whole new audience
Mhm.
that will enjoy
Yeah,
um, the earlier, sparser stuff as well. Um, but I think the energy in this, the songwriting, there are so many standout tracks on this album.
I agree.
I think there's only maybe one as I look at the list of songs here that I wrote out to help me cheat through this. There's only maybe one that I don't look at the song title and remember, oh yeah, I love that one, or how it goes. Like these songs are sticking with me, and I've only had listened to this for a little over a week, so that's a
Hmm.
good sign.
It is.
Um, yeah, she's a fantastic musician. I mean, I've seen her on Austin City Limits years ago. So she is one of my top, keep an eye on female artists
Okay.
that's going at this moment. Um, the band Big Thief is another one I latched on to over the past
Mhm.
year or so. That her voice, Adrian's voice, is just unbelievable. But Sarah's right up there for me. I really have been keeping an eye on her, and I was anticipating this album. And not only did it not let me down, um, this may be her best yet.
And that's saying something if that's how you felt before.
Yeah.
Um, so let me see how you feel about this one because going through this album, I liked it, and I was like, well, let me see, I'm liking it, I'm enjoying it, but then I hit a song and a patch of songs, but specifically the first song that took me from really liking the album to really liking the album, and that was Columbus and 89th. How do you feel about that song?
Yes. It's a standout for sure.
Okay.
Um, she actually released a few of these songs prior to the full album release, and that was one of them.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it was and if people even call it this anymore nowadays, but it was the second single.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one really, I was like, wow. And then she followed that up with Take the High Road at track 7 and track 8, Don't Break Down on Me. That 3 song stretch,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, that is see, yeah, that's a great stretch of the album. I think the album starts the first three songs that are really
Mm-hmm.
upbeat. You got some electric guitar work going
Yep.
on. You got the full kit really raring to go. Great rhythm section going on there. The first three songs to me are just very, very strong. And then, the second stretch of the album that is undeniably strong is you just picked right up on it. And I would even add the fourth song there, Days Can Turn Around.
Yeah.
Um, I would add that into that stretch because that's a standout for me as well. But that, speaking of Days Can Turn Around, something I wanted to mention during this review. I really respect her as a lyricist and a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you've heard so many songs that say, with the sentiment of, things will get better.
Yeah.
Hang in there, like the Everybody Hurts by REM that we talked about. Um, but to find that phrase and to have it be in the chorus and be the title of the song, Days Can Turn Around. Um, I think it's brilliant, and it
Mm-hmm.
seems like a minor thing to pick up on, and maybe it is. But to say the word days and not your day, like one particular bad day, like
Yep.
someone that is having a continued string or streak of bad days,
Mm-hmm.
and she's telling them your days can turn around. Just to find that way to phrase that sentiment that we've heard over and over again from different artists, it's a unique twist on it. I think it's beautifully done, and I think it's a brilliant songwriting move on her part, in my
I
opinion.
agree. She's really good at one line hits, like just boom. Like track 10, Good at What I Do. Now,
Mm,
I'm not a musician, but I would imagine someone like you who've been in a band has probably had this cross your mind where
yes.
will my words go on forever when my voice no longer sings? I think that's a very deep thought of someone who probably, your art, what you do is putting your voice out there. And you got to think at some point you're not going to do that no more. But will this go on? Will people will they hear this in the future? I think that's a very big sentiment, like an interesting thought, too.
I'm gonna get a little emotional here, man. Um, I That was so great what you just said. I've thought about this a lot.
Hmm.
As you know, I've had some minor health issues going on.
Hmm.
And as you know, I've written a ton of songs that are
Yes,
just sitting around. Um, I have been very motivated lately to, finally do my
you
album
have. Yep.
with my songs. And you know, I haven't been on top of that project as much as I should be. And we're all getting older. So yeah, that song really stuck out to me as well for, am I good at what I do?
Hmm.
And just more so the lyrics that you quoted,
Yeah.
leaving something behind.
Yep.
I've done that in bands that I've been in, but not
Hmm.
as really as me.
Yeah.
And it's something that is extremely important to me, as you know. We've talked about it a
Hmm.
lot. So I don't want to make this video about me. But just those lyrics that you quoted and the sentiment of that song really, really hit me hard.
Yep.
And she's one of those people that I admire that like she is leaving something important behind. She is
Hmm.
speaking her truths. She again took a big step up with this album, in my opinion, and it just inspires me to, finish what I need to finish. And I
Yeah.
won't say any more about that, but um,
Yeah, I mean, and
but
that's the thing. I think she's multiple times in this album did that to me, where just one quick line, and I actually had something to think about outside of the music. Where track 7, "Take the High Road," she writes, "Never met a shortcut that wasn't longer in the end." And then I thought about that,
yes.
and I was like, man, that's interesting to think about. Like all the shortcuts she's taken ended up being a longer process than just going through it the hard way. You know what I mean? And it's fascinating because she's not wrong, but it's not something that I go through in my head and think about.
Yeah. And she's got some great lyrics on this album, man. And
Mm-hmm.
one, I don't remember which song it is offhand because I didn't write it down, but there was a lyric where she said something about, I'm paraphrasing, but about meeting this guy, and she, when I met you, I knew you had a heart of gold.
Yep.
And then there's a line that follows that ties it up really nicely. Sorry, I'm not quoting it
Yeah,
correctly.
it was from track 5, "Dying Ember." She says,
Ah,
"Remember when we first met? I knew you had a heart of gold. The way you let me in was something I'd never known."
yes, the last part of the line that I didn't remember is the part I love so
Yep,
much. Yeah,
stuck out to me as
that's
well.
that's crazy. You picked that one out as well.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm gonna flip it on you because you always do this
Yeah,
to me. So I'm gonna flip it on you. What did you think of the closing track, Mescal and Love?
I liked it a lot. I liked it a
Yeah,
lot. Yeah, I mean, she did a very good job to me of just sequencing, lyricism. I mean, to me, this album in general was just a professional, well done album. I mean, this is one I'll get on vinyl. It's.
that was my next question.
I didn't like going through here. I had those 3 songs that I highlighted. There was no songs on here that I wanted to point out negatively.
Yeah,
Everything on here I enjoyed. Um, I mean, she had highlights. Some "Runaway Train" is not a Soul Asylum cover, guys. That's the first thing.
no,
I got to
no,
make sure they all know.
yeah,
I was like, oh, here we go. Here comes the Soul Asylum. But it's not. The second thing I really enjoyed is the album title comes from a lyric in the song.
yes,
I'm so tired of self-titled or the actual song title being the name of an album. I miss when bands took a phrase or a title and used that as their album. So that was cool to me. That Polaroid
yeah.
Lovers was actually a line from the song. But yeah, to me this was fantastic. I mean, it was really well done.
Yeah, I kept thinking for some reason in my mind, "Jealous Moon" was the first single released, and it's the first song on the album.
It is.
So for a while, I kept thinking the album was called "Jealous Moon," which actually would have been a cool title. But
Yeah.
Polaroid Lovers, yeah, you're right. That's a great title, and it's great that it's
Mhm.
not a song title, but an extracted lyric.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, I've been a fan of her. She's actually coming to York.
Where's she playing?
She's playing at the Appel Center in the city.
Oh shit. That might be one to
Yeah,
check out.
pretty soon. We should check the date. I would love to go to that.
Okay. That might be one to check out. Yeah.
Yeah, we should maybe go to that and do a review. A
Yeah.
live concert review. We haven't done one of those in quite a while.
Hey, maybe Sarah will want to talk to us. We'll go back there and have a little interview with her.
Yeah, well, we just gave her a rave reviews, so we'll see if we can contact her management. Um, but yeah, she seems pretty approachable and cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Sarah Jarosz, bravo. Well
Yeah.
done. This album, to me, I've gone back and listened to your older ones because I'm kind of in a Sarah mood now, with this new album, and I encourage you to do the same. Um, But yeah, just everything you do well and
Hmm.
something that you haven't really done before that you do well that maybe you surprise yourself, who knows. Um, but yeah, this album is top notch. I pretty safe to say it's my favorite album she's ever done.
Oh, well, see,
So
that's big time then. Yeah.
yeah. So, folks, if you're not familiar with Sarah Jarosz, I'm sure there's some of you that aren't. I'm sure there's some of you that are. She's built a nice career for herself. But if you're new to her, please listen to this album. Let us know what you think in the comments. Check it out. Check out her back catalog. You won't be sorry. Great voice, great writer, great musician, and from all accounts that I can see, a great person as well. So,
Very good.
Sarah, we are pleased to highlight you here on the channel. Hopefully, we turn more people onto your music because you deserve as much. Um, so let us know what you think, folks, of the new Sarah Jarosz entitled Polaroid Lovers. Brad, I was very eager to hear what you had to say about this being new to Sarah, and the fact that you would get it on vinyl really makes me very happy to hear.
Yep. No, it's fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So, folks, check it out. Let us know what you think. And as always, Brad is here with us, and I'm your friend, Keith. And this is the K&B Music Den. Please like this video, share it on social media. Subscribe to the channel, smash the bell for notifications. You'll be notified every time we drop new content. More albums coming, more Goldilocks series. We got to get back into the ranking in real time. It's been a
We
long
do.
time for those, so we're gonna
We do.
bring that back as well. Make Brad drive to my house. And
Yeah.
but thanks again. Great job, Sarah. And maybe we'll see you soon at the Appel Center.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon and take care.